In this chapter, we'll be discussing about NRI, PIO and OCI. So NRI stands for non-resident Indian. Okay, it is a person resident outside India who is a citizen of India. Okay, you might have known a lot of NRIs. Okay, so many of your friends or relatives might be staying abroad, especially US. So NRIs are like people who are citizens of India, but they are residing outside India for whatever purpose. Maybe they were doing a job abroad, so that will be NRIs. PIO means a person of Indian origin. He is also a person resident outside India who is a citizen of any country other than Bangladesh, Pakistan or such country that central government specifies. And he is a citizen of India by virtue of the Constitution of India. So who was a citizen of India? PIO could also be a citizen of India by virtue of the Constitution of India. A PIO can also be a person who belonged to a territory that became part of India after August 1547. PIO could also be a person who is a child or grandchild or great-grandchild of a citizen of India, or a person referred, some clauses are there. PIO can also be a spouse of foreign origin of a citizen of India, or spouse of foreign origin of a person referred in some clauses. And PIO will include an overseas citizen of India. Okay. So these technical definitions of who a PIO is not that important. But just it's like a person resident outside India who is a citizen of India. And the difference between NRI and PIO is important. Also OCI is important. OCI is like overseas citizen of India. They are non-Indian citizens who have a visa, lifetime visa to live and work in India. Okay. They'll be having some fewer restrictions. So of these, NRIs is more important to you. So just basically you understand who is an NRI, who is a PIO and who is an OCI. Okay, in detail we need to understand about NRIs. So NRI, who can be an NRI? So an Indian citizen who is residing outside India for a combined total of at least 183 days in a financial year will be considered an NRI. So in a financial year, that is April 1st to March 31st, if that person has stayed outside India for a period of at least 183 days, then he'll be considered a NRI. So there are some benefits to NRIs which government gives, like you can get special bank accounts, you can continue to own land and property in India, and your earnings outside India, whatever earnings you earn outside India will not be taxed by the Indian government, provided you have paid tax in that country. However, local earnings will still be taxed. Okay, and there will be some quota. You might have seen this in some colleges and universities. There will be reserved for NRIs, and also you can still vote, right? But you have to be in India to do that. So what are the drawbacks of being an NRI? Like you need permissions to take money outside. If you want to take the money, invest in India outside, you need permission. You cannot purchase agricultural land or farmhouses, and you cannot hold government jobs, and you cannot be elected to a political position. So the questions in to be prepared are: who can be an NRI? What are the benefits and what are the drawbacks of being an NRI? OCI means overseas citizen of India. It's a lifetime visa status. It is like closest thing India has for dual citizenship. Usually India doesn't have a concept called dual citizenship, but this is the closest we can get, OCI. So who can be an OCI? A person who used to be an Indian citizen, or a person with at least one parent, grandparent or great-grandparent who was an Indian citizen, or a person married to an Indian citizen or an existing OCI for at least 2 years can also be an OCI. And groups of people cannot be OCS. For some people, we cannot give OCS status, like if they were a citizen of Pakistan or Bangladesh, or whose parents or grandparents were citizens of Afghanistan, Pakistan, some countries. Okay, so there are some restrictions. So what are the benefits of OCI? Like there will be lifelong multiple entry visa to India, and you never have to report to FRRO regardless of the length of your stay. You can in fact eventually become a citizen of India if you remain OCI for 5 years, or and live in India for at least 1 year. You can use special counters during immigration. You don't need a student visa to study in India. You don't need an employment visa to get a job. You can open a special bank account just like NRIs. You can make investments in India. You can buy non-farm property. You can use a OCI card to apply for various, say for example, driving license, a bank account, PAN card. And you get the same benefits, like same economic, financial, educational benefits as NRIs. Okay. You can also adopt children like NRI. You pay the Indian resident fee while visiting national parks, monuments and all this. Okay. So some benefits, but the drawbacks are like you cannot purchase agricultural land. You will not get to vote. You cannot hold a government job. You cannot be elected to political position. and you may not travel to restricted areas without permission. So the questions need to be prepared are: who can be an OCI? What are the benefits and drawbacks of OCI?